Welcome back to the show proper. Well, let me indeed introduce my guest. I've got Tony Salam, who is a WBC African champion and is hoping to add something huge to his collection of titles as far as boxing is concerned. In Turkey, he's expected to indeed face another continental champion from Asia. Tony, it's nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me here.
You're always called Sugar by your fans. I know Sugar Ray. But come on, tell us, where is the sugar coming from into the Salam?
Wow, that's a long story.
Just make it short.
Yeah, well, let's just cut the story short. Let's put it this way. You couldn't watch my fight and not be entertained. And the way I fight is just, come on, it's more of like a sugary, you know?
It's sugary.
Entertaining, and that's it.
Don't worry, on the show this afternoon, we'll give you boxing punches, but you will feel no pain. Well, I've got a doctor also in the studio, but then it's nice to indeed always have you at the spawn in time to indeed take a look at happenings in the world of sports. Dr. George?
It's always great to be on the sport desk with one of Nigeria's finest. And I can't wait to throw those punches with probably spar with sugar, and hopefully there is no pain cost.
Well, you want to spar with sugar? Well, let's see how that will indeed pan out. But then, Sugar, let's indeed go straight to what is expected. Serdar AVCI is a continental champion from Asia. When it comes to the WBC, is someone who is, when it comes to the cruiserweight, rather, is someone who is respected. He's an Olympian. And then at first, we expected this big bout to hold next month in Turkey. And you've been preparing for this great bout. But it seems this fight will take place in October, no longer September.
Yeah, it's actually a setback because our training regimen, we're not focusing on working on our speed and power punches and all. Now it's been put back to October, and it's not a problem really because I'm not as big as these people, you know, cruiserweight. My whole boxing career, I've been fighting at a bigger way because I couldn't play with my food, you know. So now I've got more time to change our training and put on more strength work. And yeah, come October 16th, I will be the new WBC International Silver Champion.
The new WBC International Silver Champion. Well, before I come to George, how much of your opponent do you know?
If you look at AVCI, it's a guy that, I don't know why that is. They don't have many of his fight on social media for you to see. And the only fight you could see is where he's already tired up and he was throwing slower punches. And a stupid boxer could look at that and was like, okay, yeah, I'll be this guy. But knowing me, I know what this game is about. And I've been doing my research on him. I know he's in training. And I've seen a couple of his fights. This guy is lightning, he's fast, he's explosive. But nothing is goal that I don't have the kryptonite for.
Well, I watched one of your fights in Lagos. You fought against an opponent from Tanzania, and it was about you won. How easy has it been for a Tony Salam in the cruiserweight as far as boxing is concerned, especially as we look forward, to this international time?
Honestly speaking, it's not easy at all because these guys are more stronger than I am. But I've got something to compensate for the strength they've got that I don't have. On the skill-wise, the techniques and everything, that tactical plans that I come with the ring with. Some of the things that I do is not trained. Obviously, I've got a very good trainer in Balogun Samsidin called Van Damme. But most of what I do is not trained really. And the Tanzanian guy, he was better than I thought. He's very smart. But I have to subdue him with what I do best.
Well, we'll be talking to the promoter of Tony Salam shortly. He's expected to join us all the way from Turkey. And let's see what preparation is like. Well, Saleh Fawaz joins us. to indeed take a look at this big bout. Fawaz, it's nice to have you on the program Sports Desk. How is talking?
Thank you for having me. I'm in Beirut at the moment. Actually, I'm in Beirut right now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's quite hot. The weather is really hot. It's similar to what's happening in Turkey and other European countries. It's quite hot. So, but yeah, it's summertime, and we're talking about 40, 42 degrees.
Well, all eyes, are focused on Tony Salam at this point in time, looking for a big title come the month of October. News filtered in the last 48 hours that this bout will no longer hold in September, but then come October. What has it been like? You've been to the venue, you've seen the country where this fight will hold, but as a boxing promoter, what advice do you have for Tony Salam, knowing fully well that is fighting far away from home?
Yeah, so you know how it is in most sports. The away team always has a slight disadvantage, but I trust Tony Salam very well. He's got experience as well. He knows how to handle such situation, and he's been preparing quite differently for this particular fight. He knows what this fight means to him, and that's important. And we all know how close he would be for a world global title if he wins, and I would like to correct myself and say when he wins. So he does. He knows what to do. He's been training really well. Obviously, like you mentioned earlier in the show, that they've changed the date. For some people, it might seem like a disadvantage because we have schedule and training camp routines to do. But we'll do the best and change it to positive and get maybe do more homework if you like.
Well, Fawaz, when I went through AVCI's profile, AVCI is an Olympian, and he's had this steady rise. And then when you talk about Asia boxing, he's feared, no doubt. And looking at the prospects of this huge title that could come the way of Tony Salam, how much of a hurdle or threat do you think AVCI will be to that dream of a Nigerian, gets into the zenith as far as WBC boxing is concerned, the cruiserweights precisely?
AVCI has fought in heavyweight as well, so he's got a power punch, and he's actually better than most of the videos you might see on social media. He kind of reminds me a little bit of the Ruiz Jr. Who doesn't look as the fittest boxer, but he's quick and he's unpredictable. And heavyweight guys that have heavyweight experience, whether they're coming down weight or remaining there, they're always going to have this dangerous side of them. And like you mentioned, being an Olympian as well, he has experience and he's got the home advantage. Well, listen, Tony Salam, most of his professional career, he's fought bigger guys. He's sparred bigger guys. He's really smart, boxing IQ. I think that will be the difference in the fight. If you ask me, I think Tony Salam's movement and boxing IQ and breaking down boxers and being patient and waiting for the right time will make the difference. And like I said, he's had a great training camp. I also watched what he said on the last TVC News interview, where he said there will be a new Sugar, and I do believe that. Like I said, this is a fight where Tony Salam knows exactly what he needs to do, and that's the good news. And at the same time, it makes us closer to the big fights and the big titles, and if you like, the world title opportunity. So back to your initial question of how dangerous this is, in terms of looking at how AVCI is being feared in Asia. Tony Salam is quite the same in Africa. A lot of people avoid him, which is always the case whenever we look for opponents. And a lot of people out there will tell you the same thing. But I like I said, I believe in Tony Salam. I believe in the camp that we've done. And, we can't wait to bring back the title and go all over Lagos with that title.
Well, if you've just tuned in, you're watching the program Sports Desk. If you're watching on TVC Entertainment and you want to continue with the Georgia session, indeed, we're still taking a look at the big bouts coming up in the month of October. Tony Salam against AVCI, and Tony's in the studio here with us. Well, you can follow us you can indeed tune into channel 418 on DSTV. You can also take a look at them Start Times Go TV. You'll find TVC there. You can indeed join us. And if you're outside the shores of Nigeria, you want to follow us online, you can indeed watch us on YouTube live and enjoy the Georgia session in the studio.